Well, the Blue Jays go from walking off the Los Angeles Angels there last night in dramatic fashion to getting walked off by the Boston Red Sox 7-5 in 10 innings off a two-run shot from Vasquez off of Canadian boy Jordan Romano. Now, I'm going to break this puppy down quite a bit here because there's a lot I want to discuss. All right, and the thing I like, the Jays rocked Chris Sale. And Trent Thorne gave him a great outing. But you lost. You don't hear that too often, people. Those three things in the same sentence. But you look at this ballgame, you look at really early on, the very first inning, Eric Sogard up to the plate. This guy has been a dog for this team from the moment he got here. And he gets like a 10 or 11 pitch at bat, his first one of the ballgame. And he gets a single to left field off a diving play from Andrew Benintendi. He goes off his glove, and it's a leadoff single. Then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a line shot to center field, caught by Jackie Bradley Jr. for the first out. Then Gurriel flies out to Mookie Betts for the second out of the inning. Then then Eric Sogard steals, so they have a runner in scoring position now with two away. Hernandez then walks. Then Randal Grichuk walks. The bases are now loaded. The pitch count's through the flipping roof. And you got to do some damage here. And Freddie Galvis, the way he's done it all year long, it's a single through the left side. 2 runs come in to score because it was hit soft enough. And Jay's got a 2-0 lead here. At the end of the first, the pitch count's 36 for Chris Sale. And you got a 2-0 lead after the first. You're feeling awesome. And Trent Thorne just comes out and starts just doing his thing. Yeah, he gets into some trouble in the first few innings, but none come in to score, and in the end, that's all that really matters. You go to the top of the third inning. Teoscar Hernandez gets on base once again, another walk for him. And then Randal Grichuk comes up and rifles one down the left field line. It stays fair, and over the green monster, it's a 2-run shot for Grichuk. The Jays got a 4-0 lead off of flipping Chris Sale. What is happening? They go to the bottom half of the third inning, and Brock Holt a sacrifice fly to Teoscar Hernandez to get the lead for the Blue Jays down to 4-1. But you move ahead to the top of the 7th because my man Trent Thornton's been dealing up until this point. And with Teoscar Hernandez in scoring position, because I felt like he was all day long, gets an RBI single to center field as Randal Grichuk bringing him home. And the Blue Jays get that run back. It's now a 5-1 lead. They're feeling awesome. You go ahead to the top of the bottom of the 7th, where the game changes for me. Jays fans, why did a lot of people not like John Gibbons? We felt like Gibby left guys in way too long, right? That's what we felt like when it came to Gibby. He trusted them way too much, and then they got lit up. Then he pulled them after the fact. All right, bottom 7. Trent Thorne back out there to work for the 7th, looking to complete his first ever 7 innings. And he gets Sandy Leon to strike out to lead off the inning. All right, we're feeling good. Good stuff. Then Mookie Betts crushes one to center field. It stays in the ballpark, which goes off like the metal railing out there in center field, in that weird little corner area. And Teoscar Hernandez, who's never played center field in Fenway Park, doesn't know how the heck to play this thing. So instead, he goes kind of right at it. That's an issue. And it kicks off the fence and it goes way across. And he has to go running after it. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is for sure a triple. Is it going to be an inside the park home run? Well, it ends up being a triple for Mookie Betts. Out comes Charlie to pull him. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't like it. I just do not like the move from Charlie Montoyo. And I'm not just saying that from the way the game finished, because you look at that, he pitched the 12-0 game against Houston, I'm pretty sure he did. But he took him out early, and I'm like, let him go 7, man. Like, you're up 12-0 at the time. It's not like they're coming back. And you go ahead here. You got a 5-1 lead. Yeah, he gives him a 1-out triple. Now he's facing Andrew Benintendi. I get it's for like the 3rd or 4th time. I get that. But it's a 5-1 game. I get it, he's trying to bring in Tim Meza for the lefty-lefty matchup type of spiel. I get that, I do. But watching Thornton out there in a 5-1 game, where the tying run's still on his rear end in the dugout, let the kid go out there. If he gives up the run on the sacrifice fly, oh well, fine, so be it. If he gives him a run on RBI single, okay, maybe you think about taking him out then, because he's been through the lineup a few times, and the first two guys have now hit him, and now scored another run to make it a 5-2 game. Then you pull it before it gets way out of hand. Instead, Charlie pulls him from the game, and you've seen over the last two starts that Trent Thorne's come out of the ball game. He hasn't looked too pleased. Now, that's great. I love seeing the competitiveness, and Charlie loves seeing the competitiveness. But for Charlie, come on, my man. Brings in Meza to face Benintendi, and on a pretty good pitch from Tim Meza, Benintendi just kind of throws his bat out there and dumps it into left field for an RBI single. And they weren't done there. Meza's done. That's it. His ball game's over. He gives up the hit, and that's it. Then they bring in Joe Biagini, who gives up a double to Xander Bogaerts. One run comes in, just like that. 5-3 game. Then on a wild pitch, Bogaerts moves up. Then JD Martinez singles to center field. It's a one flippin' run ball game here. 5-4. Now he ends up getting out of it, getting the double play to end the inning. Well, that's great. I don't agree with the move that Charlie Montoyo did taking Trent Thorne out of the ball game. The reason being, yeah, he did have some struggles early on where he had a lot of guys at first and second and had some tough issues and whatnot. But in a 5-1 ball game that he's been dealing in the last couple innings, he went 3 up, 3 down in both innings. He was looking great. And yeah, he gave up a 1-out triple to Mookie Betts. If Benintendi gets on, then take him. But Charlie Montoyo pulled him out of the ball game, making it a 5-4 game, move ahead to the bottom of the 8th inning, and they bring in Phelps, and he gives up a 1-out triple to Jackie Bradley Jr., then Devers brings him home, and just like that, boop, we're tied at 5. You go ahead to the bottom of the 10th inning, and this is where I have a problem with Luke Maile. Okay? With Jordan Romano on the mound, what was he doing so well in that first inning? Fastball, 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 right? That's what you saw, okay? Now, Danny Jansen gets pinch hit for in the top half of the 10th, which didn't lead to anything. And like I always say, you get your opportunities late in the ball game to do something big. They had 2-1 and 2 out there in the top of the 10th inning with Sogard up at the dish. Couldn't get the job done, and that was the end of that inning. All right, and they bring in Luke Maile, and look, Jordan Romano was doing so well in that first inning, okay? Throwing a lot of fastballs, a lot of strikes, and doing just dealing, right? I don't know what Luke Maile was thinking. Look, I get it, and I don't know what he was thinking. Okay, let's start to switch up and throw more curveballs. Until the Red Sox show me they can touch one of his fastballs, why the heck are you changing your game plan? So what do they do in that last at bat? By the way, where was it here? Hernandez was hit by a pitch to get him on first base. But this is with 2 out, right? You're feeling okay with 2 out and a guy at first base for the number 9 hitter, Vasquez, up at the dish. And I think he gets ahead in the count like 1-2 or 2-2 at one point. But then he starts throwing curveball after curveball. And they're ball. And now it's a full count. What do you think he's looking for? Because you don't want to turn the lineup over and have it go 2-1 for Mookie Betts at the top. Was Mookie Betts at the top of the lineup there today? I would assume he was. He always is. Yeah. Would you want to turn the lineup over? No. So you want to throw a strike. You need a fastball. He's looking fastball. And he crushes a 2-run shot to end the ball game. Instead of throwing those curveballs early on, how about you throw some fastballs? What's been work? Dr. Phil always says, is it working for you? Well, the fastballs were. So why'd you get away from it? I just don't agree with that stuff, guys. I don't get mad at this team very often. I usually talk about how, well, they're a young team and this guy did this. Oh, well, it sucks. But when these are mistakes that these guys should know, that's the point I don't understand. And for Jordan Romano, he pitched a great inning in 2/3. Now, his velocity, I do have to say, did kind of drop a little bit, but they still weren't hitting it. I don't know. I just don't agree with what happened, guys. That's just my feeling towards it. If you guys have anything else you want to say about it, go right ahead in the comments below. This is actually a lot longer of a kind of a rant type of deal that I had in mind there. But let's talk about the stats a little bit here. And Eric Sogard was 4 for 6. Continues to rip the ball up there, and he scored a run in the ball game. His average up to 315 is Eric Sogard. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., after being named, going to the home run derby this year, We've seen what happens to people who go to the home run derby. But then again, you've also seen Aaron Judge at the home run derby, and he hasn't skipped a beat. So you know what? Vladdy's going to go there, be around all the crazy hitters in the league, and that might be a good thing for him. I don't know. He was 1 for 5 in the game today with a strikeout, but he's only hitting 247 on the year. It's a little too low for our likings, but I think as the season progresses, he will get hot again, and he will find himself as the year goes along. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr., guys, was 0 for 5 with a couple strikeouts. He had a rough time there today. And like I said, Hernandez, 0 for 3 with a couple walks, and he scored 3 flipping runs. Like we talked about, guys. Yes, I get it. His batting average is still only 205. It's nothing crazy. But have you not noticed that since he's come back, the at-bats have been so much better? And it's beautiful to see. Grichuk goes 3 for 4 with the home run, obviously the 2-run shot and the RBI single. He has a run scored as well. Great to see Randall Grichuk get something done because he got a big contract now, so it's nice to see. Freddie Galvis goes 2 for 5 with a couple RBIs, obviously in that first inning with the 2-run single, and that was his night. Danny Jansen 0 for 4 with a couple strikeouts. He continues to struggle. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I love Danny Jansen. I'm trying my best to have faith in the kid, but man, it's getting difficult. All right. Again, he's young, so that's why I'm not having a problem with the kid, but it's rough right now. And Kevin Biggio comes out for one at bat there in the 10th inning, facing Brandon Workman, a guy who has a crazy good curveball. Yeah, he just gets another walk because Biggio just doesn't skip a beat. The kid's unbelievable. Kid's awesome. Billy McKinney, after hitting the 2-run shot yesterday to walk it off, goes 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Okay. Ideally, we're facing Chris Sale, and for a lefty, that's kind of a nightmare, no matter who you are. Brandon Drury, 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the ballgame. Yikes. And the Jays strike out 15 times. They're not productive outs. They're just strike, swing, and miss. Doesn't really get you anywhere. And on the mound, we talked about Trent Thornton, 6 in the third, 8 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Left with a 5-1 lead. Doesn't get to no decision on a 7-5 loss. That's tough for Trent Thornton, man. I feel for him. I really, really do. Because in the last 2 games, he should have gone through 7 innings, but it didn't get the opportunity to. I get pitch counts and all that. But was he in high leverage situations in the last 2 innings? No. Let the kid go. Just let him go. What's the hurt? I mean, yeah, he could hurt himself. Yeah, anybody could hurt himself. Heck, we've seen Aaron Sanchez blow a blister in the flipping first few innings. It happens. Let the kid play. That's all I got to say. Mesa came out for 1 batter, gave up a hit, and that was it. So that's all right there. And BG, sucked in his 2/3. He had 2 hits and an earned run. All right. And David Phelps screwed up his time in the UA. Look, the bottom line, your relievers, all of your relievers, and I hate to say it for Jordan Romano, but all the relievers at least gave up a run. That just can't happen. Now, Romano in an inning in 2/3 gave up 1 hit. Obviously, the 2-run shot to win the ball game. In an inning in 2/3, all of the outs he got was by the strikeout. And how many were on the fastball? Probably most of them. And you were trying a finishing pitch with a flipping fastball and a full... Look, I'm not going to get into it again. I already did. You know what I'm doing next video, guys? And if you guys are still watching this video, to the cap to you guys. In the next video, I'm already going to say it here because maybe it's going to help the Jays win tomorrow or something. I don't know. If it doesn't, then whatever. I'm not even going to bother wearing it. But I'm going to say it, and if it happens, I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear that Raptor champion hat again, all right? It seemed that they won their last game when I was planning on wearing it. So let's see if it happens again. I'm going to say it right now. If they win, it's going on, okay? Let's see what happens tomorrow, all right? But, guys, we're going to go quickly through the minor leagues here. It's already a very long video here. But down in AAA, there's some good things to talk about down there. They had a doubleheader today. I'm not going to talk about the second one because it's a 1-0 game, and the pitchers on the mound weren't really guys that we know too well, and not much offense, so we're not going to talk about that game. But the first game, they won 2-1. Bo Bichette was 0 for 2 with a walk in the ball game. And Anthony Alford 1 for 1 with a run scored and 2 walks. He had another great ball game that he in the first one of the doubleheader. And Jacob Wagispack, he went on the IL not too long ago after that his very first time as a Blue Jay. But he went 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 3. He was pretty good in the 4 innings. He's a guy that I can see back up here pretty soon if he continues to pitch well down there. I like Jacob Wagispack. And by the way, Corey Copping, got to keep an eye on. Had a slow start to the year. Has done a really good job out of the bullpen for the Buffalo Bisons. 3 innings, 2 hits, nothing doing there. ERA is still up there at 4.70, but it's consistently dropping, so it's good to see for Corey Copping. We'll go quickly down to the New Hampshire Fisher Cats here, and in their ball game today, they where are they here? They lost 6-4, but they had 10 hits in the ball game. Where's any positives? Riley Adams went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Good job there. Logan Warmouth, after getting that hit yesterday, we talked about him slowly starting to find himself once again. He was was 2 for 5 with an RBI. His batting average up to 174 now. Oh, good to see Logan Warman starting to do some things there in Double A, because I want to see this guy do well, and to see him do a good job there today was awesome. Chad Spanberger 1 for 4 in the ball game, still hitting only .216 though, and nothing really good on the mound happened. We're going to go down to the Dunedin Blue Jays. We're not going to hit the Vancouver Canadians or Bluefield because I already looked at them and there really wasn't anything there, so we're not going to mention those guys. We'll go down to the Dunedin Blue Jays, and Cal Stevenson had a day. He was 2 for 2, walked twice, scored 2 runs, got a .261 average down there. He did an awesome job at Demi Olamoye. We've talked about him lately, playing better, doing a good job, and got boosted to the 4th spot in the lineup there for Dunedin today. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Great job for Demi. Attaboy. Canadian kid, may I add, in .218 on the year. Good job. Anything positive on the mound? Graham Sparker. Keep an eye on this kid. 1995, so he is what? Depending on the birthdays, either 24 or 25, so maybe a little bit up there. But that ERA is down to 2.02 down there in Dunedin. So 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and a strikeout. Did pretty damn good in his time, so it's good to see there. And we'll go down quickly to the Lansing Lugnuts. And Griffin Conine is the main eye, if you want to call it that, down there in Lansing, and he was 1 for 3 in the ball game there today with a walk, hitting .347. Again, a guy I think that should be called up to Dunedin fairly shortly, and it'll be very exciting. And quickly on the Blue Jays injury front, all right, before we wrap this thing up here. Ryan Brucke threw another, live BP, threw 45 pitches of live BP, so it's great to see Ryan Brucke slowly getting closer to his return. TJ Zook, all right, so his next start's going to be in AAA Buffalo. Starting the year on the IL, having a tough time. He was going to start the year in AAA. Everyone was jacked to see that happen, and possibly be with the Blue Jays. Oh, excuse me, I'm spitting all over the place. I'm getting too fired up. He was going to be with the Blue Jays at some point this year. He got injured, and we're like, man, now he's slowly getting back into it, and he's going to make his first start at AAA. I don't know when, but his next scheduled start is going to be in AAA Buffalo. It is going to be awesome to watch this kid continue to grow, former first-round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays. Keep an eye on that. And Julian Merriweather continues to progress really well. Anybody who doesn't know the name, that is the piece acquired in the Josh Donaldson trade last year at the trade deadline. All right, so just giving you guys a heads up, a little bit of injury update for the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, so you know what, guys, that is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed the video, and you guys enjoyed the first 6 innings of the ball game today. Smack the like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the minor leaguers, your thoughts on the Charlie Montoya decision, the Luke Manley call behind the dish. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that there from tonight's ball game. All right, so guys, check out Main Man Mo Buckets on Twitter, Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. Again, he's an awesome guy. He posts amazing content. And he just does great stuff. He really does. And I'm hoping to be on his podcast very soon. And I hope to have him on our podcast very shortly as well. By the end of the month, that should be kind of kicking into gear. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check him out, guys. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. All right? And I will talk to you guys June 27th. We are under a week away from that, as we'll be talking to you guys Raptors edition. All right? As we will talk to you guys about the season that was, the magical year that the Raptors had. We'll talk about that. We'll break down everything towards that team. Might even be like a 20 to half an hour minute segment. It's going to be a long one there. All right. On, I think it's Thursday, June 27th. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. All right. And for the Toronto Blue Jays, they play game 2 of the 3-game set against the Boston Red Sox tomorrow afternoon, 4:05 first pitch at Fenway Park. And for the Blue Jays, it's going to be a bullpen one. So we're going to have to see how that plays out there tomorrow afternoon. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.